Kamara, the supervisor for the Richmond district. It's great to hear Sandy Fewer as well. I know that she's been a champion of equity and equality in the school district. I was on the school board for 8 years as well, and the former president, and I feel like she is really carrying on a tremendous tradition to fight for educational equality. I know Jan Adams is back here too, who helped to found Californians for Justice. And I think a lot of the needs of the school district are to rebuild a coalition of parents and communities and teachers and staff as well, and students to fight for equity within the schools. I've been a longtime activist. I know that when SF for Democracy was formed out of the Howard Dean campaigns, I was a Kucinich supporter at the time. But my roots with the Democratic Party as an outsider, but also somebody with a foot inside, goes way back to the Rainbow Coalition, to the 84 and 88 campaigns, where the vision for me and many that were building more of a broader umbrella group of activists within the party was about expanding democracy within the party. I do feel like SF for Democracy fits into that tradition. In the 90s, early 90s, I was working, I think Joni was active too in organizations that were fighting for district elections and electoral reform. So I really appreciate the championing by SF for Democracy on many electoral reforms. I think the Milk Club, I was active in the Chinese Progressive Association and the Richmond District Democratic Club at that time. I'm really proud to have broad support from not just the RDDC, but also the sole endorsement of the Democratic Party, the Labor Council, Sierra Club, and SF Tomorrow, but a broad range of different groups and leaders. My work has been in the district really focused on creating healthier and more livable communities. We're creating parklets on Clement Street and Balboa, great green projects at Argonne Elementary School, also new murals and ways to get edible schoolyards throughout the Richmond District schools as well. On keeping families in the city, I've championed legislation to prevent owner move-in evictions of families during the school year. That was one of my first pieces of legislation. I've been advocating for good jobs, healthy communities. That's our next piece of legislation, to get food retail and healthier, accessible, affordable food into low-income areas, and then to fill vacant storefronts also that have been vacant for over a year with food retail, but also manufacturing and other unique uses. Lastly, I'll say on big box stores, I'm really working hard with a small coalition, a coalition of small businesses and neighborhood leaders to really look at the impacts of a big box that may open in central parts of the city. We have a hearing coming up in the Land Use Committee, which I chair, that will kind of point out how many different small businesses, over 100 that will be lost in a year, and the 1,591 jobs over a year, and many more in future years if we have too many big box formula retail stores open up. Recent legislation for me has been to close a loophole on the formula retail for banks and financial institutions too. So I look forward, I've always had the support of SF for Democracy. I really would be proud of the endorsement and support. And please help me kind of support the small businesses and more healthy and livable community in the Richmond. Okay, Tom.